Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from a throwaway account from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit and says, Am I the Arsehole Here for saving sexy photos of my wife that she sent me during the dating phase? My wife and I, early 40s, have been together for more than 15 years, married for 12 years. We met online because of shared interests. We were in different cities and we used to message each other and talk on the phone. Things became flirty and we would send a lot of spicy selfies, almost daily, to each other. It was just our love language and we had not even met each other in person at this point. It was clear to us that we are meant to be together, and she moved to my city after a year. We dated, got engaged after a year, and married after that. It was the best decision, and we are both happily married with 3 kids. I have an external hard drive where I save all my old movies, photos, documents, etc. I saved all the sexy pics she sent to me on that hard drive too. I was backing it up on Sunday, and I thought it would be fun to show my wife all the photos she had sent me during our dating phase. My wife saw those pictures and asked me why I saved them. I told her it's just a memory and I sometimes go through them to remember our dating phase. My wife asked me if I found her sexy in those pictures and I said yes. She was a bit upset by my answer. We moved on from the topic, but I could see her mood was a bit off during the day. At night, I asked her if it bothered her that I saved those pictures of her without her permission. She said no, and those were meant for me, and it's flattering that I saved them and find them hot. She asked me if I liked how she looked in the picture or how she looks now. My wife used to be small and petite when we started dating. However, she has given birth to 3 kids, and of course she does not look the same anymore. She's also gained around 20 pounds during the pandemic, which bothers her too. I tried to be politically correct and told her that the 25-year-old me liked the girl in the picture, but the 40-year-old me likes her as she is now. She told me seeing those pictures made her feel very insecure and jealous, and she does not like the fact that I still look at those pictures. I found it hilarious that she is jealous of her past self. She asked me that, since I have her for the rest of my life, would it be okay for me to stop looking at those pictures now and delete them? I feel those are amazing memories from our early dating days and I want to keep them. However, she feels the girl in those pictures looks so much different than her now. She feels insecure about her body and me looking at those pictures makes her feel bad. I'm in a dilemma. I want to respect her request, but I also do not want to lose memories from one of the best times in my life. Would I be an arsehole if I do not delete these pictures of her? Is her insecurity about herself valid in this case? And if any other married woman has gone through a similar situation? What a tricky situation, and I kind of see both points of view here. I know, OP's wife, her point of view is coming from a place of insecurity, but, that's his wife at the same time. He doesn't want to hurt her, and of course he doesn't. But he also doesn't want to throw away memories that made him happy of their past, and, I understand that too. I just sort of wonder if sitting down and discussing this face-to-face about the memories, why they're important to you, etc., might solve this. You might have already gone down this path, of course. The first commenter said, I can see her point. No one's an arsehole here overall. I think you should make some kind of counter-offer that shows she is currently desirable. C-Dub says ask for new sexy photos and show her how happy it would make her. Adept Dad says, God, what a dilemma. Nobody is the arsehole. The thought of deleting cherished photos just because they represent a different time and body that she misses is just tragic. And I think your responses were beyond tactful. You gotta keep the photos. OP's wife, please let OP keep the photos. Don't erase your history. My wife has changed drastically over the years. I love each and every version. I want all the photos so I can be reminded of all the different experiences we shared over the years. Good, bad, and indifferent. It would kill me to lose that. Memories get harder with age. Photos help keep them alive. Yes, even the dirty ones. War says, this reminds me of a quote from Schitt's Creek. Take 1,000 naked pictures of yourself now. You may currently think, oh, I'm too spooky, or nobody wants to see these tiny boobies, but believe me, One day you will look at these photos with much kinder eyes and say, dear God, that was a beautiful thing. Sounds like a lot of self-image issues that need to be worked on, but honestly suggests therapy if it's accessible. And one more comment from Turbo, who says, not the arsehole. I understand her securities, but those are good memories that you shared. It's fun to look back at the adventures you had in life and share stories. Life is about moments and memories, and they will mean more to you as you grow older. The older you get, the less you will care, or let trivial things like this bother you. I think you should hold on to them, but there are lots of conversations to be had with your wife. Love is about the person and not what they look like on the outside. Women have a lot more self-esteem and self-image issues than men do. You have to be more sensitive and understanding. Good luck. So OP then comes in with her update and says, I wrote a post yesterday about my wife wanting me to delete her sexy photos that she sent me during our dating period. I wanted to thank everyone for so many mature and nice suggestions. I know my life is not scandalous as many people who post on this forum, but wanted to give an update on what happened. We put our kids to bed last night and I was sitting in the bedroom. My wife came to me and started cuddling. She asked me if I deleted the photos. I told her I have not, and I'm really attached to the memories of our early dating days, and it reminds me of how far we have come. I told her that I understand that we both do not look the same as 15 years ago, but my love and attraction to her has only grown since then. When we started dating, she was this hot girl online I had so much in common with. But after 12 years of marriage, I still see her as the same, but more. Now that hot girl is my family, and she made 3 gorgeous mini versions of me. 2 boys and a girl. I also told her I look at these photos because they remind me of a time when our relationship was so new and how crazy we were. I asked if I did or say anything to make her feel bad about herself, based on how she reacted. As many of you guessed, she said that it was not about what I did. She just remembered how she looked in those photos and felt bad about herself. She started saying things like I have let myself go and I wish I could be more disciplined, etc. I told her that I'm still very attracted to her and try to initiate whenever we are alone. She agreed and thanked me for getting snipped. Else we'd have a lot more kids running around. However, she told me that I used to stare at her every time she would change in front of me or was in the shower. Now I barely notice her, even if she was standing butt naked in front of me. She said that it makes her feel insecure about her body when I do that. I know she is right, but after 15 years together, you kind of get used to each other's bodies, so I feel it's normal for that to happen. I told her it would be hot and adventurous for her to send me sexy photos now too, but she said there is no way she'd feel comfortable taking pics like that now. Overall, I loved our conversation, and I'm glad she talked about her insecurities to me. Finally, we started talking about the photos. She asked me if I pleasure myself looking at them, and I told her I have in the past, especially when the kids were small. She found that funny and cute. She said that I had the entire internet to find porn, and it's cute that I still looked at her pictures. She said I should keep the photos. She asked me to just create 2 folders for her pictures, safe for work and not safe for work. She said that I can keep the not safe for work folder hidden so the kids don't find it. For the safe for work pics, she wants me to upload them to our iCloud as she wants to show pics to our daughter. But she said that she is glad I did not delete the photos. Thanks again for everyone who commented. A lot of comments were really cute and I got a nice perspective of what my wife was thinking. Opie came into the update like almost apologizing that their life wasn't dramatic or something like that. And you know, I never get that from these stories. From each different story, you get like a different situation which requires different communication, etc. and gives you a little bit more to think about what someone else, what they might be thinking in a different situation, like body insecurities, etc. And I find that personally pretty interesting. And, you know, it's one of those stories where communication has won the day. And I'm glad that your wife said not to delete those photos in the end, and you had a good conversation about it, about your insecurities. I'm sure that's only going to strengthen your relationship going forward. And all I can say is I'm super happy for your family. But what do you guys make of this situation? Have you ever dealt with anything similar to do with body insecurity, etc.? I know myself sometimes see old photos of myself and I think, oh, bloody hell, you know. But what do you guys make of this one? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from It's Okay to Feel Robbed from the Off My Chest subreddit. And before we do get into this story, it does contain talk of attempted grooming. So if you want to skip the story, please feel free to do so. Timestamps are down in the description and along the timeline below. Thank you. It's titled, "My husband is now an RSO," which I'm assuming is a registered sexual offender, and I hate that he's tanked my life with his. My 25 female, husband 31 male, and I have been together for 5 years. Married for 2, and from the outside, we have the perfect life. We have the house, the yard, good jobs with benefits, 2 lovely pets, and a supportive circle of friends. We share the same hobbies and goals, and I swore this was the man I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Recently, he, after disappearing for 2 days, shows up and tells me he got arrested for trying to meet up with a minor, but it turned out to be a sting, and suddenly, everything went wrong. I all but lost my mind worrying for him, and then he destroys my world with this revelation. The trial went on for a whole year and has culminated in that now he has to be registered for life as a sexual offender. Throughout it all, he has been withholding information from me, and all the information I found out has been through searching his computer and police reports and piecing things together myself. He's been begging for forgiveness non-stop, and his family is also trying to get me to forgive him. My family has been supporting me as best as they can from my home country, but they want to pretend that he's not going to have to permanently register with another state if we were to move. Can't be left unattended with a minor, and this shame will hang over our heads forever. I can only be grateful that we live in CA, so there wasn't a public notification to our neighbors, but I'm absolutely mortified to go outside anymore. Unfortunately for me, I'm an immigrant and therefore a green card holder, and so my ability to stay in the country is tied to him. I love my life here, my job, my friends. I feel as if I've made a real home here. I also resent him for destroying the life we've built, as we were discussing children, and now I can't fathom the thought of having children with him. I worked through all my emotions and I'm ready for a divorce, and I really want to be able to build a life here for myself, but as it stands, it's very unlikely, and so I've been beating myself up that all this work I've put into making this a home for us has been destroyed, and I've basically spent the last few nights mourning. I haven't spoken to any of my friends here, and I honestly do not know what to do. I'm thinking about quitting my job, can't work outside of the CA, and just packing up, as he can no longer sponsor me once my card expires and I'll be living here illegally. Sorry for grammar and punctuation mistakes, I'm on my phone. And edit, thank you all for the kind words and support. I never could expect such an outpouring of kindness and advice. I've made an appointment with an immigration attorney, and I've made notes of all the important points and questions shared here. I hope to come back with good news. I will keep my hopes tempered, but I'm buoyed by all of these comments. Edit 2. I don't know how to feel that I'm on the top of hot posts. I think this is the first time this week that I'm crying happy tears. I'm flattered and I'm so grateful for all the well wishes, and I feel so seen and validated, which is something I've struggled with during this process. Again, thank you all for taking the time to read what was a moment of indescribable despair and overwhelming sadness, and turning this into a story of hope. Thank you. I wouldn't know what to suggest with the legalities, and I'm sure the comments will clear that up. They clearly have said something to OP that's beneficial to her, but just as reading it, I found it wild that this person can come here, get married, get a job, build a life, but because her husband is a disgusting fucking arsehole, that her life gets turned upside down. So the comments were saying, find an immigration lawyer and see if there is a path for you aside from him that lets you keep your status. In a way, you're also a victim of him, and hopefully there are protections for you. Opie says, I've been calling around and got an appointment for next week. Fingers crossed. Mizzy Von Muffling says, might have changed, but I used to have a green card, and if you're married for longer than 2 years, you might be able to keep the green card. By the time this is all through the courts, you might be okay. But best to check with an immigration lawyer. Maybe your circumstances will help you. Best of luck to you, and please divorce this piece of shit. You deserve much better. Cupcake Velociraptor says, OP, yes. This comment is right. If you have conditional resident status, it is 2 years. Permanent green card, it doesn't matter. Divorce won't impact that status. Regardless, lawyer up. They will help you navigate this. You're not stuck with this nasty ass man. You can free yourself from this. OP says, thank you. I'll ask the lawyer when I meet them. I really want to hope, I really do, but I'm so scared. So OP adds an update and says, I'd like to thank you all for the well wishes and support, but also use this time to clarify and ensure that I have no support for his actions and decisions. There were some comments concerned that I was only thinking about me and not the children, but to accurately and wholly capture all the thoughts and feelings that were going through my mind would require a book at that point. And this post started as a rant/vent on how unfair a situation that should not involve me took center stage, and I became a casualty. For the record, I think what he did was absolutely monstrous and disgusting, and if there was some way for him to spend life in jail, I'd happily support it. Unfortunately for all of us, he was able to waive jail time. I met with the immigration lawyer for a consultation, and like many of you said, he reiterated that his action should not affect my ability to apply for my 10-year green card. I have a 2-year. The call was very short, and the lawyer let me know that the hurdle was passed, and if I chose to divorce him or not, I would still be fine. Unfortunately, I can only apply 3 months before this green card expires, which would be at the end of October. He then quoted his fees to me, which, I have some saving to do. I'm still reaching out or searching for cheaper avenues to see if I can be represented, but it seems like this will be a waiting/saving game, which to be honest, I'm not sure I can do. Obviously, I'd love to be able to divorce him immediately, but I'm still trying to set up a consult with a divorce or family lawyer here to ensure I know my rights and avenues. Said partner also forbade me from notifying my neighbors with children, as he is attempting to file an appeal, and supposedly his info will be taken down off the site if there is an ongoing case. His parents have maintained their stance and have not spoken to me since the deliberation, which was hurtful, but my tears have dried up. Needless to say, I've moved into the guest room and have ensured that all my documents are together and safe. I want to ensure that I have my green card before I serve the divorce papers, but I also want to ensure I have somewhere to go. Savings for an apartment, if he chooses to kick me out immediately. His name is on the mortgage and not mine, and he makes 3 times what I do. His dad has made it very clear that he 100,000% supports his son and said something to the effect of, "Your pain is real, but your options are not. So work it out or go on a plane." Which was the most sobering message and honestly a catalyst into wanting out ASAP. I was told that notifying my friends and neighbors was stupid and I overestimated their need to know or care. To have this life-altering situation boil down to a binary definitely showed me they really never cared about how I felt during this, and is a sure sign that this is normal for them in a sense. He's been treating me as if I committed the crime, and his poor son was just an innocent bystander, which makes me wonder what has been said, but at this point I don't care anymore. His son has taken the opposite stance and is so apologetic and regretful, and he has now realized what he had in this relationship, and if he were to lose me, he wouldn't know what to do, etc, etc. And it's so funny how much someone can change right before your eyes. I love this man with every atom, every fiber of my being, and I'm disgusted every time he so much as looks in my direction. I do not speak to him unless necessary, and it's almost as if we don't even live together. A girl can dream, right? I'm not sure if this qualifies as a true update, but unlike the first post, I have some hope. I hope I'll be able to fully remove myself from this situation and rebuild what has been a beautiful life outside of this. I want to save for a lawyer, an apartment, and also plan to make therapy a regular thing to deal with all the undue stress, trauma, and insomnia this has caused me and will, unless I'm threatened with legal action, which I don't think they can do, let my friends and neighbors know in secret to allow them to decide for themselves. I'm less afraid of losing my friends, as I know I would have liked the knowledge to make the choice if I were in their shoes. Thank you for reading. I hope to have a happier, more positive update later. Edit, I had written the title based on memory and expounded what RSO meant. Sorry about the lack of continuity. I'm super glad that OP receives the support that she's getting and getting the advice that's helping her move forward, but to be stuck in that situation with that guy, fucking nasty. And the family supporting him in this as well. That comment that he made, I'm not going to repeat it because it really just pissed me off and I can feel myself heating up just thinking about it. But to support him at the same time, if I discovered any of my family members were doing something like this, that'd be it. That'd be cut off instantly. And there were some people saying, well, OP's in the position she is, she needs to protect herself and maybe play the long game in this situation and use him potentially for the money to get therapy, etc., get him to cut off his family, and then, you know, then eventually take him for everything he has. And although I guess it varies by state to state, that she should be entitled to some of the money from the mortgage because it's a marital home. Again, I don't know the legalities behind this. Gee whiz. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you for joining us today, getting involved in the stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.